Hello everybody, Levi Clay here, and in today's video I'm going to do something a little bit different. Normally I would do these transcription videos live here on YouTube, but I've decided to pre-record one. That way I can focus a little bit more on the transcription. I'll probably get things done a little bit faster, but I'll be able to tell some stories and we will have a good time. If you enjoy this video, please do check out the link in the description to my own website, the bringer of this video, guidedpracticeroutines.com. It is the best place to go and level up your guitar practice because at Guided Practice Routines we practice together to progress faster. So today we are going to be looking at Alex Skolnick, great guitar player of Testament fame, paying tribute to the great Ozzy Osbourne and more specifically Randy Rhoads by looking at a rendition of the song D and Goodbye to Romance, both taken from Ozzy's debut album, Blizzard of Oz. Now, of course, Ozzy passed away recently, so we've got lots of people doing the rest in peace Ozzy thing, and that makes sense, lots of people jumping on a bandwagon, but let me assure you, this is absolutely not that. I have been a die-hard Ozzy Osbourne fan since I was yay high. I love Ozzy's music, every single one of his records. I could tell you every single one of his records, every musician that played on every one of his records, every track that's on every record. I could sing the lyrics to every song. He's my desert island artist. You know, I really do love Ozzy's music. And I featured him on my channel a lot over the years. In fact, memory serves me correct, when I was about 16 years old, I guess I would have been 15, I did a performance of Randy Rhoads' D in front of my entire school on classical guitar, back when I was playing classical guitar as much as electric. So, huge Ozzy fan, and I'm doing this out of respect for my hero. Having my hero pass away was obviously devastating, and but to be honest, being able to cover some of Alex's stuff is also very much appreciated, because I haven't managed to get a Skolnick solo on the channel. Alex, obviously, incredible player. He, outside of his work with Testament, Alex was an influence on me because he walked away from the metal thing to go and study and do the jazz thing, which I found to be incredibly cool. And he put out his first, Alex Skolnick jazz trio record, and it was jazz standards, metal songs, rock songs played as though they were jazz standards. There is a recording of Goodbye to Romance on there, so he has a long history with this song. I love this music very dearly, and I hope you enjoy me transcribing it. So let's take a look. I've got, as always, Alex is loaded up here on the left. This is Transcribe, the software Transcribe. I use this to play back the video. Let's get rid of the doubled audio. So we'll use that for my audio in Transcribe, and then I'll be notating over here in Guitar Pro. So two pieces of software. The video plays via Transcribe. Both great pieces of software, both highly recommended. So let's take a look at what's going on here. So, of course, usually I would mark a file out, but of course, there's a free time element to it, and if memory serves me right, there's a couple of time signature change type things in D. So I will just write it as we go. The third on top. So I'm hearing that, I'm going ba ba doo doo da da, and I'm hearing that as da 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 da, or am I da 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 da? Let me see if I'm feeling that at double time. Wrong software. Yeah, 1 2 3 2 2 3 da 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 da. I'm just deciding if I want to write this in 3/4 or 6/8, and of course 6/8 is a compound time signature. 1 2 3 2 2 3 1 2 3 2 2 3, whereas 3/4 is a standard time signature. 1 2 3 1 2 3. I'm hearing this more as 6/8. 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3. Yes, I'll write this in 6/8. That would be my choice for this. there's a little fluff right at the start. I'll put chords over this as well. So we're getting it's an open G in there. Which definitely isn't intended. So we'd write this as being a G, and then this is a D over F sharp. Common chord movements, of course. And then we have harmonics. I'll put a rake in there, like that. Now, timing-wise on this, this isn't a full bar, but I'm going to write it as a full bar and then sync the transcription at the end. So we've got "buh" on the bottom. And if you wanted to double voice this, actually, this might be quite nice to write as a two-voice part. So I'm just switching between voices. Like that. Same idea again in the second voice. We have the same bass note. I'll write that all in one voice. And again, we want to put chords on this. We would say B minor, and then this would be a G over B. Nope, G over B, not G over G. Going up to A over C sharp. Now I'll show you the syncing process in Guitar Pro, the way I would do this. So I get the start of the piece, zoom out a little bit. I don't like to work with the audio in Guitar Pro. I prefer to use Transcribe. I'm going to export this sound file as an audio file, import that into Guitar Pro. There. Now I've got that, we can jump back to the file. Sorry, all my files on screen there. We jump back to the file. We can zoom in to the audio at the bottom here. I'm going to mute and slow this down. So I can see this is what I would call beat 2, second half of the bar. Yeah, so the harmonics, they start early, and then I'm going to have to drag this bar back a little bit. So this bar, time feel wise, you rush through it. Oh, hammer on there, of course. And now, that next bar. So I'm just dragging the sync points in Guitar Pro to get them to line up. This is the second half of the bar. So none of this has to be perfect, of course, but now we can either listen to Alex playing at speed, put a that slide in there, of course. Or if you wanted to work, for whatever reason, if you wanted to work from MIDI, and actually, yeah, so as I have in the in the third bar, because I've done the 2 voice approach there, it kind of makes sense to do it here as well. I think it will just make the notation look tidier, like that. And the MIDI will play more as intended. Okay, let's keep going. So now we'll do a copy paste. Yeah, so but we don't have the open G string in there this time. So I'll delete that. Now at this point I have to not have the audio from what I'm trying to say here, the Alex Skolnick audio playing in Guitar Pro when I press play, because it won't be synced. Yep. And I'm thinking time signatures here, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So just get that part. So 2 voices here. Ba ba ba. Ba ba. That's how I'm doing this. Like I'm singing in one, and I put that last bar in one voice. So. Go ba ba. Just singing in my mind and then writing out the thing that I sing. Oh, that's nice. Like that. I'm really listening to if that D is in there. Definitely want to put a arpeggio on there. And then we've got a D major. Without the F sharp on top. Yeah, no F sharp on top. Cool. C shape. So again, put my chords in. G. D over F sharp. And then here we are thinking, what are we thinking here? It's not A7, but at the same time E minor doesn't feel right. A7 kind of works. Yeah, it's not an E minor because there's a C sharp in there. Yeah, it's a rootless A7. Can I come back to it? Let me hear it in context. I actually don't know if I hate E minor. E minor kind of works in my mind because you would have this root note movement of G, D over F sharp down to E minor. I'll put E minor there. Can always change it. And then we've got chords here: D, C sharp minor, B minor, G. You could say G6, but G, and then yeah, like A sus. Right, A sus, I think. To D. Now I'll do the sync. Switch my audio like this. I want to be able to zoom out so I can see a little bit more. Now I'm just using my visual cues. And this is a big part of what I do for a living. Like I love transcribing. I love sort of understanding the inner workings of music. It really helps you to hear harmony more effectively. Okay, there's our first part. And now I think he goes into Goodbye to Romance. Memory serves me right. Now we're more established in the groove here, so I probably would mark this out. I'll put a fermata over the top of that. It means hold. So 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I always found this song very interesting because it's veering on jazz if you listen to the harmony and the melody. And I just refuse to believe any Ozzy had much involvement with it. I think Randy and Bob Daisley were the driving force of the music in those albums. Get that done. Not too bad because it's it's all in time. Cleanly played in terms of the mix. We don't have to dig his part out from a band. So hear this. So we're changing time signature. I'll put this in 4. I will put beaming in. Definitely rushing that. I'm going to pretend he didn't rush it. Whoops. And again, this feels like a two-voice thing because you have this descending bass part. If you just listen to the bass part, ba, ba, ba. So we'll just write that out and then add the melody over the top. Ba, da, da, da. Whoops. Da, da. Helps you to sort of see the contrapuntal motion of what's going on. And again, like harmony-wise, D. We've got a 5 chord with the 3 in the bass. 3 of the 5. A over C sharp. And that's going to go to a B minor, down to an A. trying to work fast and then keep making mistakes in my typing. There's an A7. And then we have this percussive hit. It's called a golpe tap, but I don't really want to notate it, so I won't. Yeah, so B minor, and then A7. And we know it's A7 because that da, that G there. Da. There's an A in there, isn't there? Yeah, it's like a A over D over A. Ba. Yeah, that's in there too. Ba. Ba da da. I'm just ba da da da. He kind of goes for it, doesn't hit it. And because we have the descending bass line, I am going to do the same thing again. I think it shows intention a little bit better. And I'm a stickler for notation. Back to voice 1. I'm in voice 1 apparently. Yeah, I'll put it there. Again, bass line, descending bass line B to A. Very nice. Oh, okay. So here you have, this is like a D over A. So D, even though he does hit the A in there, I'm thinking like root note movement, descending bass line. So I'm thinking D, even though he technically has an A in the bass. So this will be A over C sharp. This will be B minor. And then this, he's very definitely playing D over A. Well, a little tricky because he does have the E melody note on top, but this is a descending D major triad. And we're going to go to E minor. Yeah, so I'll do top voice. It does hit the E. Da, 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 da. And then strums through the actual chord. The beaming isn't helping at this point, is it? A triplet. Ba ba poo, ba ba poo. And now we've got our bass note in. So for me, a big fun part of the transcribing, especially now Guitar Pro has the functionality of being able to put the audio in. I actually really quite enjoy the syncing part of things. Because to me, transcribing is like solving a puzzle. Like that. You know, a lot of this you can do without even looking. So now I'll put my chord in there. Now I know that this is going to be nicely synced in Guitar Pro. Could listen to the MIDI and Alex. Now with these rakes, you can dictate if you want it to start on time or fall on time and how fast you want that rake to be. So if we drag it back to fall on time a bit more, a little bit neater. Lovely. This would be like G over A, even though he's not playing it. That's like an A9. Ba, ba, da, da. Ba. Whoops. Sorry. There we go. And we've got the E on top as well. So I would write this as a G over A, even though the A isn't there, but common harmonic movement 4 over 5. This is an A9. Now it's more triplet-y here. Yeah, I'll write that as a triplet. I'll just do the melody. So da 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 da. That rhythmically feels better. And we do strum through the chord. So same idea again. If I put a brush downstroke there, then we'll put ba da da do da da da. If I take out the bottom note, the notation might look a little bit neater. Now out of triplet, ba 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 do, da 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 do da 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 do. Like that. And I shouldn't need to check the bass notes, right? It's going to be a B going to an A. E minor. Da da. Oh, it doesn't play the O high E, is that right? No, it's that. Same idea again. It's like an E minor 7. Or G over E is an E minor 7. Whoops. With an E underneath all of this, and for some reason I wrote all of that in voice 2, so let's put it in voice 1. And go back to voice 2. Yeah, so we can more clearly hear the intended A underneath that. Whoops. There's like this ba 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 ba. Yeah, just the two. about have to do the syncing. About the syncing, did it again, copied that into voice 2, so I'll just put it in voice 1. Now fix the audio sync. Where from? Here? Yeah. So for stuff like that, you could sync the entire piece before you start. I don't. I find that doing stuff like this is like a nice rest for the ears. Ba-da-da. Want that to drop down. But he doesn't give it to you. Da 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 da. The voice leading thing. That's like a B minor over A there. Anyway, let's keep writing. Is there an A in there? Yeah, there is. Da, da. And for the second voice in this, kind of want both notes there. And I remember seeing Alex's post about this, where he said this isn't clean, there are mistakes in here, but that's how Randy would have played it, and that's true. He wasn't perfect. Yeah. Here's both notes. And for doing something like this, same idea. With the brush down stroke here. Brush down stroke like that. And for our second voice here, just put a whole note in there. We put a harmony in, because I haven't done it for a while. So D, put D sus. And then here we've got that A over C. Oh, interesting. So now you've got D over C sharp, but it's really like an A. So it's like D over A over C sharp. I will put D over C sharp, which is another common move, to put the 7 of the chord in the bass for the walk down. B minor. Here we have D over A. Here we have E minor. G over A, going to G9, A9 even. Then our chorus is going to be D. Goodbye to romance. So what you'll see people do sometimes here is just put slash C sharp. Then this is going to be B minor. Even though we don't have the third, just harmonically, that is what we would. If you're playing the keys, yeah, my keys are connected. We would have. What am I doing here? B minor. Sorry. Why am I octave shifted on that? It sounds awful. It's better. Yeah. multi-voicing. Yeah, harmonically, that's what we have going on there. I think harmonically, the melody is definitely, he's definitely playing like a D triad. But harmonically, it would be more common to hear. So that would be D, and then A over C sharp in the bass. But he's not doing it, so. And we like to be accurate. So G. Oh, missed over the A. So over A there. And then we've got that. Does he hit a bass note in there? A6. Dog's just dying in the background. You okay, pal? Sync. Same again. And it's just occurred to me. Place the open. See, watching me transcribe this, you know that when I post this on YouTube as a transcription video, I'll turn all the notation off. And I do that not because I don't understand notation. I put a lot of time and care into making sure the notation is accurate, doing the multi-voice stuff. But for YouTube videos, I like less real estate dedicated to the notation because I don't want to take away from the visual performance. I guess technically there it's not, he's not technically playing D because the F sharp isn't there. It's more like a D sus over C sharp, which is more acceptable to the ear, I think. Harmonically, it makes sense. I love that I did that with this paused video of Alex just sort of scowling at me. Same bass notes. I need to put those bass notes in there. Because it's just driving the piece forward. Just hear my dog dying in the background. Same harmony there. So D. And it's we could put D sus over C sharp, which I think is accurate. But again, I know harmonically A over C sharp makes more sense there. B minor, and then this is going to be over A. Which you could call B minor 7 over A as well, but functionally the same thing. Oh, I missed the chord there, so this is G over A, going to, this is an A6. I'll just copy paste from here, just fix the one note that's different. Saves you time, right? Like that. Yeah. Does he play that on the B string? He doesn't. Just like that. And again, not putting the tap in there. You okay, pal? Chords. So G, G over A. And then let's fix the sync. I'm off there because I'm seeing the melody notes as being on the beat, and they're of course not. They're syncopated. I need to say synchronize. Yeah, our beat is there. Okay, let's see where we go from here. I've been the king, I've been the clown. Does he play the whole melody? Oh, okay. Sort of hints at the solo to Goodbye to Romance. Doesn't play the whole thing, but you know what he's playing, yeah. Yeah, so put bass notes in. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And then our melody on the top. I would probably write that like that. Same chords, D, and then we've got. Did I write this as D over? Yeah. It's. I'm just going to put A over C sharp. But here, there's spice in that. Well, spice is the wrong. Yeah, it's G over B. Should be a B minor, but we've really got G over B. I think music notation is a beautiful art form. I love it. And then fermata on there because he holds that out. A7. And then, so I want to sync that. Like that. The police sirens are his end, not mine. Okay. No A in the bass there. But we have to put the bass. What did I do wrong there? Oh, I was in voice 2. Always doing that. What's going on here? Control 1. No, I'm just going to have to delete the whole bar and start over, aren't I? Now we'll go back to voice 1. Open E or? Yeah. So we just put our bass notes in. I'm just going to check his fingering for that. Slow it down and really look. That's interesting. He doesn't pick this note, but yeah. Not important in the transcription. The pick there at the end. Oh, sorry, we're 30-second notes here. Make some space. Yeah, he does pick that. So I've just unbeamed everything, and then I'm going to have to do this and beam it all again. And split the beams. Oh Christ, I can't even see. 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Like that. And then, so chords would be B minor. And here, I guess just A works. D over A is probably smarter because he's going to like an E minor after this. I'm just deciding where I want to place that. Yeah, so we go. Like that. Like that. Now do I sync? This is over an E minor. Put the E underneath it all. Like that. Like that. And triplets. Ba ba do da da do. I'm trying to look for more context. Oh, whoops. And he finishes up with D. I'll just put my little sync points in. Let's see what he does with D at the end. D, of course, named after Dolores Rhoads, Randy Rhoads' mother. So very little. I was going to say, I won't do the last bit of D, but you know, it's not too tricky, so it's really just copy paste. And we'll actually copy it from there. We can actually do a special paste that has the chords on it. You know what? I hate it when that happens. It doesn't copy the bass notes because I wasn't looking at both voices. I'll just copy paste the harmonics from voice 1. And we are done. But we do need to sync like that. Now, here we've got this E minor. The A really happens here, but the E is still ringing out. He's playing an A triad. This is descending A triad, and then we have he doesn't hit the A bass notes with there. So really this is A, but I'm putting the A in there. Job done. So that took me 54 minutes, which, you know, not too fast, not too slow. So let's save this. This is Alex Skolnick. Goodbye. Now let's listen to it. Check it's correct. Like that. Oh, key signature. It's in D. It's in G, and then it switches to D. Oh, why did I put A? Why can't I press buttons? Better. I'm quite happy with that. If you've enjoyed that, please do leave a comment below letting me know. Let me know you watched the entire thing, because that is very much appreciated. And if you especially enjoyed it and you want to learn to do the things that I do, you want to have this sort of ear, you want to be able to transcribe, you want to be able to analyse and understand music in so much more detail, well, you need to practice the guitar. And the best way to practice, guidedpracticeroutines.com, where we practice together to progress faster. Now, of course, big thank you to Alex for this beautiful rendition of D, and goodbye to Romance. Mega thanks to Ozzy Osbourne for all of the beautiful music that you brought me throughout my life, and a big thanks, I guess, to Randy Rhoads, who was the composer of D, and to me, Bob Daisley as well, who was the composer on Goodbye to Romance. Awesome stuff. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, any questions, let me know. I've been Levi Clay. You've been awesome, and I will be back for more videos soon. Goodbye.